Hello and welcome to another episode of Mole Thoughts. My name is ChaosMole and today we have a look at Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale. And to make something very clear before we are jumping into this is not what I would call a normal review. I'm not really doing numbers, I'm not doing normal reviews. What I'm doing is I'm telling you about the game, what I have played so far, how I'm feeling about it, what it does well, what it doesn't do well. And then we are talking about the things which might interest you or which you don't, and then you can decide for yourself if this game is worth your time and, well, most importantly, of course, your money. So, with that said, let's jump into Tortuga. What is the game? Well, the game is a pirate game. You are an upcoming pirate and you are trying to make a name in that world. And you do that by doing missions, raiding other convoys, upgrading your pirates, yourself and your captains, upgrading your ships, and trying to find your way in that world. And it's really interesting because the world is relatively big. As you can see here, you're in the Caribbean, and you have to deal with the 4 different nations: England, Netherlands, Spain, and France. You can see here, this is where the Netherlands is and where I have been starting out. This is France, Spain is down here, and this is where England is. I've already seen a little bit of England. And then there are also the pirate nations, you can see right here, and those pirates also have like their own little harbors, and they're sending out ships, and they're trying to hunt you down because, well, you try to become a legendary pirate, and they don't really want that. So you have to navigate those dangerous waters, and you have to become stronger. And you are starting out with a brig as a ship, and then you are sailing around. You can play the economy, you can do missions for the different nations, and we will talk about that as well. Or you can just hunt down convoys as a pirate, and this is how you make your money and how you get new ships. But one of the things which happens really early on, and which kind of wowed me, is the RPG mechanics. So the really interesting part here is that the moment you are leveling up, you are unlocking more talent points, and the game is throwing about 100 talent points at you, which you can freely choose from. And what I have been doing here with my main character is I'm a boarding expert. Like, everything I'm doing is focusing around boarding, because boarding is kind of OP in this game, but we will get to that. And I thought it would be kind of cool to be, well, the center of attention and board other ships. But you don't have to do that. You can focus to become a tank, to become a sniper, to become a supporter. This is what I'm doing with my other captains here. Mr. Samus is my tank. He has a taunt ability, he is not taking as much damage, he is slowing down other ships, and he can use his own massive health pool he has as a tank to become basically a berserker and become stronger and do more damage. But he's always in the midst of it, and he takes the heat. And yes, all the captains have also things they love and hate, so you have to manage that, because if you don't do that, those captains will run away and they will take the ship with them. So don't let that happen. It happened to me. This is why I have only 3 out of the 4 captains I had before. And Meier here is a really interesting character. She is my support / trap master. So she is sending out sea mines, she is sending out burning boats, and they do like a lot of damage. And that's what she will focus on. Now, there is a problem here in this. I didn't choose this. For whatever reasons, the captains in this game just get their abilities. I didn't choose that Samus is becoming the tank and that he gets those talents. The game is putting that on them automatically, and there is no way to change that right now, which is really unfortunate, because my 4th captain I had was really good as a DPS. She was doing insane amount of DPS, and then her 3rd ability became, and now you are a melee fighter. I was like, no, she was my sniper, what are you doing? And I couldn't change it, and she became basically useless for the playstyle I had envisioned for her. And that's really unfortunate. Again, with your main character, you can really choose all the talents, and I don't really know why they didn't do this with the other characters. I have no clue. which is really unfortunate. Speaking of the RPG mechanics and improving your ships/characters, let's talk about your fleet. You can have up to 5 ships you can control, and 3 more which can just sail around with you and take some extra cargo capacity with them, right? And as you can see, I am running around, or sailing around, not running, but sailing around in a ship of the line, where my tank has also a ship of the line, and she has also a ship of the line, which are pretty good. There, my DPS, which is now missing, had a war galleon, and she had like a lot of cannon. And as you can see, all those different ships have different weapons, different defensive items, and support items. Like my main ship here is completely decked out, and as you can see, I'm also trying to focus on the whole aspect of boarding an enemy, right? I have a ram, I have handguns for my crew, I have grappling hooks, I'm pretty fast. I can also take more crew members with me because that's what I'm using in the battle, crew members, because I'm doing the boarding, as I said, right? And this is how you can upgrade your ships. How do you get the upgrades? Well, you get the upgrades by just sailing around, and you find the harbor masters. Like Trinidad has one, or you have one in Crooked Island, right? Or somebody is up here in Nassau, and then you have to upgrade your ships. There is but one problem. You have to have a certain rank with that faction to get the better upgrades. So you're starting with 1 star, and if you want to get the higher upgrade from that faction, you need to be a baron or higher than that, right? And going up in rank in the game takes a tremendous amount of time because it is also unfortunately bugged. Yes, there is a pretty game-breaking bug in my opinion right now in the game, where you get a mission. Let's have a look here at the Netherlands, and this is, let's take the bounty one, right? I have to intercept this character, which is a convoy, and he is sailing around between Nassau and Port-au-Prince. Problem is, this is a mission from the Netherlands, and the convoy I have to stop is also from the Netherlands. And yes, I'm getting a fat minus on my standing with the Netherlands when I'm attacking Netherlands ships. And yes, that even goes for the bounty ships. So when I'm finishing this mission, I'm coming up with ±0 points. I don't know how this was overlooked, how this is an oversight for the developers, but basically all the bounty and buccaneer missions, forget about them. Because if you are unlucky, you have to destroy the ships of the factions you're working for, and then you are gaining nothing. It's super weird. The same goes with the escort mission. There's an escort mission in the game where you don't have to escort the ship because nobody is attacking the ship. The only thing you have to do is you have to run from port A to port B, and in front of port B is one pirate ship which tries to stop you, but you can just outmaneuver them easily. It's not even hard work. Enter the port, you can immediately turn in the quest, and the pirate ship disappears and you have done nothing, and you're just getting all the items and all the points you need. And it's like, wait, what? That's weird. Again, you don't have to pay any mind to the ship. You have to defend because nobody defends it, and it's just sailing around. It's super weird. But that's when it comes to the missions and how you can upgrade your ship. And don't get me wrong, getting better ships and getting better upgraded equipment is really fun, but as you can still see, I'm now at the ship of the line. There isn't a lot of better ships out there. Maybe 1 or 2 ships you can still upgrade to, but you're pretty much at the end of the line when it comes to the ship upgrades. And most of the time, I'm still running around with low-level upgrades. And the problematic part is, you cannot take the upgrade from one ship and put it on another. You need those upgraded harbor masters, and it's a pain in the ass. After 20 hours in this game, I have basically reached the end of the line with what you can do in the game. And that is a bit unfortunate. But it's really fun to upgrade your character and to upgrade your ship in the 20 hours I've been playing the game. But now I've reached a point where I feel like I have seen everything the game has to offer. Speaking of everything the game has to offer, let's talk about the economy. And you can go to the marketplace, right? And you can just buy items here. You can see if you can actually buy them for cheap and sell them at the highest price somewhere else, right? You're playing the market. But unfortunately, the reality is this is pretty useless. Why is this useless? Because there's something else in this game, how you can make money. And no, I'm not talking about the plundering. I'm not talking about attacking convoys or attacking cities, which are also making you a shit ton of money. I'm talking about boarding. Boarding is the only way in the game on how you can get new ships. You cannot buy ships, which is a bit weird. But yeah, you can only board them, so boarding is super important. But if you don't need your ships, you can just go into a harbor and you can say, okay, sell the ship I don't need, like this brig. And the brig is like the beginner ship, and you get 25,000 for it. Keep in mind that if you're buying stuff here on the market, this takes about, let's say you're really looking for the lowest price, you then look for the highest price, you are selling all your wares, and you sold about 200. So you bought the shit for 5,000 ducats, you sell them for 5,000 or for 10,000 ducats. So you made 5,000 ducats. This did cost you about, this took you around 20 minutes to do so, 30 minutes to do so. And you get 5,000 ducats out of it. Keep in mind, I can just go board a ship in the open. This takes 5 to 10 minutes, and I will get 25,000 ducats. And this is a small ship. I can already, like the Queen Anne here, look at this. I can sell the Queen Anne for 320,000 ducats. The market doesn't matter. The only thing the market does matter is when you want to buy items to keep your crew happy. Unfortunately. Playing the market has no meaning. Because just getting ships, it's so much faster, so much fun, and so much easier to do in the end. So, this does not matter. And it's really unfortunate. Also, another thing which does not matter, which is unfortunate, is the pirate hideouts. You can have your own pirate hideout, and you can use them as fast travel point, which is really cool. That is really helpful. But you cannot really do anything here. Like, yeah, you can have a tavern, you can have a repair dog for free repairs, but those are all the things which you can also get like in other cities, and you just have to pay a little bit of money for it. Like, let's say I have to really repair all my ships. I'm paying maybe 3,000 ducats. Look at the money I have right now. Normally I'm running around with about 1,000,000 ducats. So if I have to pay 3,000 for repairing, doesn't matter. So unfortunately I'm not really using this. It's a waste of time and money here. But we have to talk about another very important aspect here. And let's see if I can just grab the pirate ship there. Or maybe we can get a ship on the way. But let's see if we can grab the pirate ship. As you can see here, the sailing around is all in real time. What is not in real time, and what I will try to show you in just a second, is the combat. The combat is all turn-based. Let's not get stuck there. And the combat is really interesting because, as I said, you are building up your own classes, right? And you were in the middle of the ocean, as you can see here. And yeah, you have some reefs you have to look out for, but they are not really any hazards you have to go for. And you have to position your ships in the way that you can, of course, attack the enemy ships. And you can see the range of my ship, right? You see it on the left and on the right side. And you want to hit the enemies in the grayish white area in the middle, and every ship has a different layout. So my tank ship here I'm controlling has to be pretty close, and you can hit a pretty wide area on the ships. And you might think, wow, okay, so this seems to be a pretty simple combat system then, right? Because you're just getting up close, you're just firing all your cannons, rinse and repeat. And the answer is no. Interestingly enough, no. This game is using a very interesting game mechanic to spice up the sea battles, and that is momentum. So you can see it right here that I'm positioning my ships, right, and I moved quite a bit on the battlefield. And next turn, the battlefield has now changed where I can go. You can see that this area is not clickable for me because I have still momentum from the previous round. My ship is too fast. I cannot just stop in the middle of the ocean. Well, there's an ability which allows you to do that, but technically you cannot just stop in the middle of the ocean. And that means, depending on how much you move the previous rounds, you have to move more fields on the battlefield. You're basically being forced to be moved and then be put in a very disadvantageous position on the battlefield. And that's not what you want. But what we are doing now here is we are positioning our boat. Here's the tank, right? I can use my taunt ability. Everyone in the area is now taunted and they have to attack me first. I'm also healing myself. I have a lot of health, which is this here. And this is my armor. So they have to break through the armor first and then they can attack my hull. If the hull is gone, well, I'm gone. They can also try to take out my crew, which you can see down here. And the crew, if that crew is gone, then, well, your ship is not usable anymore. And so you are now fighting to the death till all the ships are gone. You can also use your special abilities. We are just using some iron bolts to get rid of the armor first. That's very important. That's my tank. Doesn't do a lot of damage. And we will position her to also do some damage here. And then the last thing, which is really cool in this game, is boarding. Boarding is another special thing you can do in this game. And my main ship can do that, so let's activate the boarding. And let's find the target we can board. 77% chance. Let's hope it works. If not, we have to save scum this here very quickly. But let's just hope it works. Wonderful. So now the enemy is taking their turns. And now the boarding begins. And the boarding is like a mini game, as you can see here. And we have the momentum. We have to reach 100%. And this is where I have to make my decision. We are rolling the dice. We have a 90% chance, 45% chance, and 60% chance that this will be successful. And I'm now rolling my dice and hope that the 90% will hit. If I'm failing this dice roll, I'm losing my ship. And it's not very great. But as you can see, I'm pushing this forward. And I would take over this ship very soon. And that's basically the battle. That's what you were doing. You were A, taking down the ships, you sink them to the bottom of the ocean, or you use the boarding to basically take out the ship. And the ship, by the way, in the meantime, cannot do anything. So boarding is a very, very powerful thing in this game. And you have to keep that in mind. this is why a lot of people are using boarding. And I would even go so far to say that boarding is a little bit too OP right now. But there is
The local specialties are
a problem
I'll go get myself
in all of
a
this.
rum.
There is really a serious problem beyond all the things I've mentioned. This game is not an early access game, but it kind of feels like it. It feels unfinished. One of the biggest things which annoys me the most is the game is suggesting that you are in a living, breathing world, and there is zero interaction between the factions. There is no fighting going on, no war, no bickering, nothing. And even the pirates are only attacking you, the player. They're not attacking any of the other factions. I have seen moments where a weak ship is sailing close to the pirates, and the pirates go after me, and they're waving to the other ship, and they go like, "Hi, have a nice day, bye." It's like, wait, what? Why? Like, there's no interaction here. And the game is fun, but you reach the point very quickly in the game where there's nothing else to do anymore. And it feels like you have seen everything this game has to offer, and the gameplay loop itself is... there could be more. It's so weird, but it feels like there should be more. Now, granted, this game costs $20. It's only available on the Epic Game Store, to make that very clear. And I had my fun with it in the 20 hours I've played it. But now, after 20 hours, I have reached the end of the road. I'm done with this game. And till they didn't fix the issues, they didn't do some balance, and they hopefully add some extra content on top of it, I will for now not return. But did I have fun those 20 hours? And are you okay with a 20-hour game paying $20 for it? Yeah, I can recommend it. For that, it's really fun. The combat is really good. Like, it feels really good. I really enjoy the combat. I love all the little things you can do. But the deeper you get into the game and the more you understand the game, the more this game unravels. And if you don't mind that, you will have some fun 20 hours in this game. Afterwards, they have to fix the issues and hopefully add some more content. But again, I had my fun with it. The 20 hours I played it, there was a lot here, and then it fizzled out relatively quickly. But if that's what you're looking for, then this game is definitely for you. And I have to say, this game is easy to get into. It's one of those games you can just boot up, even for the first time, and you immediately get it. And that's also pretty important. But with that said, thank you so much for watching Mole Thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you still have some questions or you have some thoughts, post them down below in the comments. And we will be back with another Mole Thoughts video pretty soon. With that said, don't forget to like and subscribe on the channel. It would help me out a great deal. Also check out my other channels. My main channel, which is at ChaosMole, or just youtube.com/ChaosMoleFX. Or you were checking out my reaction channel, where I'm reacting to a lot of like video game gameplay and trailers and other showcases, and that is at youtube.com/MoleReacts. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I hope to see you next time.